This page is the dynamic cover of a Saturn Fan Magazine, featuring vibrant anime artwork with two characters. The prominent red Saturn Fan logo stands out at the top. This cover is packed with highlights on major Sega Saturn titles. Featured heavily are grand features on the two big war series, specifically Sakura Wars 2, Though You May Die For Me, and the climactic Super Robot Wars F Final Chapter. The magazine also provides a thorough strategy guide for Even the Lost One, and previews several anticipated upcoming games, including the King of Fighters 97, Dragon Force 2, God Absent Earth, Shining Force 2 I, Scenario 2, and The House of the Dead. Additional coverage is promised for titles like Mobile Suit Gundam, Giren's Greed, Lunar, Eternal Blue, Gungriphon 2, Baroque, and Pia A Yukoso. The cover promises deep dives into strategy, previews, and possibly interviews for these essential Saturn experiences. This page is dedicated to announcing Real Sound 2, Kiri no Orgel, for the Sega Saturn. The title, prominently displayed, is 2, Real Sound 2, with the subtitle, Mists Music Box. The release date is clearly stated as June 1998. Developed by Warp Inc., the game emphasizes its real sound concept, a hallmark of the developer's approach, focusing on audio immersion. A striking warning at the bottom highlights the game's nature. Warning! This is a truly scary game. The page features text and logos against a dark, moody background, suggesting the game's atmospheric and potentially unsettling tone, characteristic of Warp Inc.'s horror titles. This page welcomes you to the labyrinth of nightmares and despair, with a full spread dedicated to Dungeon Master Nexus for the Sega Saturn. The legendary real-time RPG, Dungeon Master, has been reborn as a full 3D experience. Get ready for immersive gameplay, featuring powerful monsters rendered in full polygons, eerie dungeons, and intricate traps designed to pull you into the deepest depths. The striking artwork features a menacing figure with a chilling gaze, setting the tone for this dark adventure. The Sega Saturn version is scheduled for release on March 26th, priced at 6,800 yen before tax, published by Victor Interactive Software. It promises the ultimate Dungeon Master experience in a terrifying new dimension. This page serves as the table of contents and features spread for this issue of Sega Saturn Fan Magazine. On the left, we see information about the dating simulation game, Tour Party, which is available on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn, with the Saturn version slated for a March release at 5,800 yen. The artwork shows a main female character and a large group of young men and women, hinting at the game's focus on relationships and travel. The right side prominently displays the Saturn Fan logo alongside the cover art for the March 27, 1998 number 6 issue. The cover features two characters from Eve the Lost One inside a car, a game also highlighted in the strategy guide section. The central section presents the detailed contents. Major features include extensive coverage on Real Sound 2, a deep dive into Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die For Me, and the concluding part of the Super Robot Wars Fee strategy guide. Strategy guides also cover games like Burning Rangers, Pia Yukoso, and Eve the Lost One. The software report section provides insights into various titles, including Baroque, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giren's Ambition, Shining Force 2, I Scenario 2, Grandia Digital Museum, Lunar, Eternal Blue, Code R, and Radiant Silvergun. There's also a special project featuring an interview with Ryutomo Saka. Regular columns cover new releases like Dungeon Master Nexus, featured on the previous page, rankings, reader input, and previews of upcoming games. This page presents an urgent special report featuring an in-depth interview with the visionary developer Kenji Eno, titled, Kenji Eno Speaks Passionately, a must-read. The focus is squarely on the upcoming title, Real Sound 2, Mist Organ. The page showcases a large portrait of Eno, alongside images of him at his desk, providing a personal touch. A handwritten message from Eno himself is also included. The core of the page is the interview transcript, where Eno discusses the development of Real Sound 2 and his vision for the game, emphasizing the focus on audio experience over visuals, a hallmark of the series. He touches upon the challenges and creative process behind this unique, sound-based adventure game. Context is provided by referencing the previous game, Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, highlighting its status as a groundbreaking audio-only title released back in 1997. Photos of the voice actors for Real Sound 2 are featured, underscoring the importance of the voice performances in the game. The branding for Kenji Ino's company, Warp, is also prominently displayed. This page sets the stage for further discussion with Kenji Ino, teasing that the interview continues on the next page. The next page continues the deep dive into Kenji Ino's work, picking up the interview about Real Sound 2, Mist Organ. Ino elaborates on the game's unique audio-focused design, explaining how sound is used not just for effect, but as a core gameplay mechanic, emphasizing things like footsteps and environmental sounds to create immersion and horror. He also discusses the story structure and the importance of the voice acting, revealing that the casting for the game was done entirely through auditions to find the perfect voices. He hints at the terrifying nature of the game, achieved purely through sound and imagination. The page also features a notable section dedicated to another Warp project, D2. While the platform isn't finalized, it's discussed as an action-adventure game set on a snowy mountain with the protagonist named Laura. Images show early concepts or renders of D2, hinting at its visual style, which is a stark contrast to the audio-only nature of Real Sound. Finally, there's a small section highlighting a campaign or contest for readers, offering prizes like signed artwork and rare promotional items related to Warp and Kenji Ino. This page effectively showcases Warp's diverse projects under Ino's direction, contrasting the groundbreaking audio design of Real Sound 2 with the more visually oriented adventure of D2. This page provides an in-depth look at Sakura Wars 2, focusing on its new gameplay features. It highlights the introduction of powerful, visually stunning special moves for the Imperial Combat Review's Flower Division members, mentioning characters like Sakura, Lenny, Iris, and Kana receiving new signature attacks. The mechanics behind these moves, such as accumulating the Kiryoku spirit gauge to unleash them, are explained. The feature also introduces a new antagonistic force, the Kurokikai, Black Demon Society, which the team will face. Screenshots showcase the dynamic battle system from an overhead perspective, and dramatic close-ups of the redesigned Kubu mechs executing their special abilities, illustrating the evolution of the combat from the first game. The page emphasizes the excitement for the sequel's release, and the detailed analysis provided for fans. The next page continues the in-depth look at Sakura Wars 2, putting the spotlight on 3 more members of the Flower Division and their enhanced abilities. Lenny Milchstrasse is featured with her unique personal Kubukai model, the Eisenkleid, and her powerful special attack, Das Rinengold, which involves a massive lance strike. Iris Chateaubriand's section highlights her crucial healing special move, Iris Petit Jean-Paul, where her mechanical bear, Jean-Paul, provides support to the team. Lastly, Lee Kohran reveals her signature attack, the quirky Janpai Robo, launching explosive mahjong tiles from her updated green Kubukai. The page uses screenshots to demonstrate the visuals of these new moves and the updated designs of the mechs, giving players a glimpse into the exciting combat evolution in the sequel. The next page delves deeper into the mechanics and characters of Sakura Wars 2. It kicks off by highlighting the series' protagonist, Ichiro Ogami, showcasing his powerful special attacks with his personal Kubu unit, including the devastating Wolf Tiger Extinction and Heaven and Earth One Arrow. The visuals demonstrate the flash and impact of these signature moves, confirming his role as the central combat force. Following this, the page introduces the primary antagonistic force in the capital, the mysterious organization known as the Kokikai. We get a glimpse of their structure and some of their key executives, the Gogyoshu. 3 members are featured: Kongao, a powerful warrior; Kasha, a cold and calculating strategist; and Tsuchigumo, a formidable female combatant. The leader, Anio, is also shown, hinting at the dark forces behind the group. Finally, a significant new gameplay feature is revealed: cooperative techniques between Flower Division members. Screenshots illustrate how positioning and character compatibility can trigger combined attacks, adding a new layer of strategy to the turn-based combat. This mechanic allows players to unleash devastating joint maneuvers, reflecting the bond and teamwork of the diverse cast. This page dives deep into the tactical combat system of Sakura Wars 2, breaking down the various commands available during battle. It explains the fundamental strategy command chosen before combat begins, which dictates initial unit placement and objectives, shown through different formation examples. The core movement command allows units to navigate the battlefield within their determined range, with a handy new return option to undo recent moves. Combat methods are detailed under attack, covering both standard attacks and powerful special attacks, powered by the Spirit Gauge. Understanding the battlefield is crucial, and the information command lets players check unit stats, enemy details, and overall conditions. Keeping track of who moves when is handled by the turn order command. A significant new feature introduced is the overhead map view, providing a bird's-eye perspective of the battlefield, a valuable tool for strategic planning. The page also highlights character-specific actions like the guard command, where units can protect allies from attacks, strengthening their bond and compatibility. Finally, the captain command is explained, detailing how the leader, Ichiro Ogami, can use special commands based on elemental attributes like wind, fire, and mountain to enhance the abilities of the entire Flower Division team, demonstrating his crucial role in leading the charge. The various screenshots effectively illustrate these commands and the dynamic nature of the battles. This page offers an exciting first look at the opening moments and system updates for Super Robot Wars FE Final, a major special feature. It previews the game's story beginning and provides details confirmed by playing a sample build. The prologue story sets the stage, describing a complex conflict involving various factions like the Inspectors, DC Remnants, Titans, Guest, and Aido Alliance. Key events include the sudden arrival of the Devil, Gundam, and Master Asia, origins from Byston Well, and the mysterious Apostles, Angels, alongside Evangelion Unit 01. The narrative highlights the entangled relationships and hints at a coming resolution to all the mysteries. Under the banner, check out the new facts from playing the sample. The article notes the game is 95% complete and details the improvements made since the previous game, Super Robot Wars F. The system is described as more enjoyable, more comfortable, suggesting quality-of-life enhancements. Screenshots showcase the battle interface and combat scenes. Finally, the story starts moving, emphasizes the narrative's progression, featuring dialogue screenshots and mentioning the introduction of new units that make battles visually more dynamic. A small table provides basic game information like the genre, simulation RPG, and release date, April 23rd. This page dives deeper into the specific changes and features in Super Robot Wars F Final compared to its predecessor, Super Robot Wars F. It highlights several quality-of-life improvements and expanded content. Key updates include enhanced character expressions that change during dialogue and combat, adding more personality to long-standing heroes like Koji Kabuto and Ryuma Nagare. The dialogue display has been refined, making the current speaker's text more prominent. A welcome addition is voice acting for map weapons, adding punch to powerful attacks. The cursor movement during counterattacks is improved, now automatically returning after an animation. The page outlines the branching story paths at the start of Final, showing distinct real robot and super robot routes that eventually converge, detailing the initial stages like the Sank Kingdom reunion and the crisis of Frontier 4. The Londbell team is shown growing rapidly, featuring new powerful units like the GPO-3 Dendrobium and the F-91, along with supportive characters like Millie and Cecily. Finally, it clarifies how players can begin the game, either by loading clear data from Super Robot Wars FIA to continue their progress, or by starting fresh with sample data that provides a solid foundation of units and pilot levels. Players also get to make key decisions at the start, including choosing a love interest, tailoring the experience from the get-go. The next page details key events within the real robot route of Super Robot Wars F Final, picking up after the initial branching paths. This page delves into the unfolding crisis at Space Colony Frontier 4. It covers the mission to rescue Seabook Arno and Cecily Fairchild, pilots of the Gundam F-91 and Vigna Gina, who are cornered by enemy forces led by Shiro. The Londbell team arrives just in time to provide aid. The narrative then shifts to the DC, Divine Crusaders, invasion of Frontier 4 itself. Despite repelling the initial attack in space, Londbell discovers that DC forces have already infiltrated the colony's interior. The page highlights the fight against these invaders, including facing off against characters like Lacan Dakaran. Finally, a dramatic section focuses on the Wing Gundam and its pilot, Hiro Yui. Faced with a dire situation involving a potential nuclear attack on the colony ordered by Lady Un of the Titans, Hiro is contemplating self-destruction, a shocking tactic he's known for. Dr. J is shown attempting to convince him otherwise, while other characters like Quatre Raberba Winner react to the crisis. The page captures intense moments, with screenshots showing urban combat and character portraits reflecting the high stakes. This page highlights specific, critical moments and introduces key characters from various Gundam series as the real robot route progresses into deeper conflict. The next page continues the guide for Super Robot Wars Final, detailing several critical events and character introductions within the game's scenarios. It highlights the arrival at Lamavian Rose, where the Lond Bell team seeks supplies but instead faces a surprise attack led by Anavel Gato piloting the fearsome GP-02. The action then shifts to the Axis defense, a complex scenario requiring Lond Bell to divide their forces for a strategic assault, featuring characters like Amuro and Heyman Karn, whose overwhelming power is emphasized. A significant section focuses on the fated battle between Ko Uraki and Anavel Gato, a difficult scenario where new powerful units become available, including the GP-03. Key character moments are presented as highlight checks, such as the joining of Lune Zoldark and her powerful Psy-Flash attack, the reflection of Bright Noah on his former ally Slegerlaw, Heyman Karn feeling a strange pressure related to Minerva, and the recruitment of Mashiro Katrit and his Z Gundam after Heyman's retreat. The page also touches upon a potential forbidden love for Bright Noah at Lavian Rose, and a shocking revelation regarding the presumed dead Shiro, who reappears during a conversation between Jamatov and Basque, leaving a lingering mystery as the conflicts deepen. The next page features a special report on the game Baroque, tying into its exhibition at the Tokyo Game Show. This is a detailed play report covering the game from the prologue through to combat. It discusses the protagonist waking with a sense of guilt and being drawn towards a strange tower. The report delves into exploring the desolate world, encountering various entities within the ruins, and experiencing the game's unique atmosphere. Screenshots showcase the dark, atmospheric environments, the user interface displaying HP and VT, vitality, and various characters, including an imposing angelic figure. The page also includes a small section detailing the game's basic information and mentions that Sting will have a playable demo of the near-complete game at their booth at the Tokyo Game Show. This Baroque gameplay analysis details the 2D map, HP/V displays, and item collection mechanics. Key is defeating irregulars, monstrous enemies blocking the tower's descent. Real-time combat requires strategic thinking, as enemies have diverse, unpredictable special moves. Scattered items affect gameplay, but their effects are unknown until used, introducing risk. Examples include the Bone, Burned Soul, and Parasites. Mysterious characters, like the Shinshi no Hako and the Kusai Tenshi, offer story progression clues and interact with the protagonist. This page delves into Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Greed, highlighting a major feature: the emergence of a third force beyond the standard Zeon and Federation conflict. The game, set during the One-Year War, allows for alternate historical paths. The article reveals two such forces: the Titans, familiar from Zeta Gundam, and a unique, legitimate Zeon faction led by Kycilia Zabi. Screenshots display character portraits for leaders like Jamatov Hyman of the Titans and Kycilia, along with strategic map views and combat scenes featuring mobile suits. The text explains that the player's decisions influence whether these factions appear, drastically altering the strategic challenges and potential outcomes of the war. It explores the motivations and key figures of these new powers, making for intriguing alternative scenarios compared to the established Gundam lore. This page features a report from Especially Software and Game Arts, focusing on the upcoming 3D robot shooter, Gungriffon 2, just before the Tokyo Game Show. The big news here is the significant progress towards completion and, more importantly, the confirmation of a versus battle mode supporting up to 4 players, promising much more exciting multiplayer encounters. Additionally, the page delves into the strategic depths of the Odessa operation within a Gundam game context, likely continuing from discussions of Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Greed. It explores this pivotal battle from both the Federation and Zeon perspectives, highlighting critical player decisions like deploying the White Base or the Black Tri-Stars, and how these choices dramatically influence the course of the war. You see character portraits and strategic map views illustrating these key moments. There's also a brief note on Bandai's exhibition plans, potentially detailing their presence at the upcoming show and games they'll be featuring, like the Gundam title. The next page dives deep into Gungriffon 2's highlighted feature: the Versus Battle Mode. Following up on the previous page's reveal, this report explains the technical requirements for linking 2 Saturns, and the special attack/defense turn-based rules designed to elevate the competition beyond simple deathmatches, ensuring strategic depth and intense head-to-head combat. You get a glimpse of the varied mechs available, with 6 specific examples shown, highlighting the diverse options players will have, from nimble units to heavy tanks and helicopters. An interview with development manager Takeshi Miyagi provides insight into the mode's creation, the challenges, and the balancing of different mech types. Miyagi even shares tactical advice, emphasizing the importance of situational awareness, like listening for opponents' footsteps and using grenades. Finally, the page details Game Art's exhibition plans, confirming playable demos of the Versus mode on a dedicated setup, potentially hosting tournaments, and even showcasing limited edition merchandise like a Gungrafon 2-cap. The screenshots illustrate the mech selection screen, intense combat moments across different stages, and the victory screen. This page introduces Grandia Digital Museum, a special disc designed for fans to delve deeper into the world of Grandia. It acts as an interactive museum featuring extensive databases, a variety of minigames, and exploration elements. The museum houses different rooms, where players can access detailed information about the game's world, characters, and monsters. However, some data isn't available from the start and must be unlocked. A major highlight is the collection of humorous minigames available in the museum's amusement area. These range from unique challenges like the Speed King cooking battle minigame, where players compete to prepare dishes quickly, to other fun distractions. The minigames even feature mechanics like attack cancellation. There's also a dungeon exploration component. Players venture into connected dungeons to find items, which in turn unlock more content and data within the museum. Be careful though, as these dungeons are filled with traps. Finally, the disc includes a data creation room, allowing players to replay their favorite scenes from the main Grandia adventure. The page also briefly mentions Game Art's exhibition plans, showcasing game items and limited edition merchandise, like a cute Pooey plushie. This page focuses on the upcoming Sega Saturn port of Lunar, Eternal Blue, providing an update straight from the developers. The main visual features large artwork of the protagonist, Hyro, alongside the familiar pink cat, Ruby. The article details the game's development, noting it's a port of the Mega CD version, but with enhancements for the Saturn. A brief table lists the genre as RPG, player count as 1, and indicates development is 60% complete as of March 5th. A key highlight is the improved battle system, which now features zoom capabilities, making the action more visually dynamic. The overall visual direction is also emphasized as being significantly enhanced, with better screen effects and direction during battles and events. The page includes an interview with director Shigetoshi Hokari and art director Toshihiko Fujisawa, who are veterans of the series. They discuss the challenges and improvements in bringing the game to Saturn, mentioning rewriting parts of the scenario, adding hidden events, and focusing on richer character expressions and animation direction. Character sketches showing various expressions for the main character are included, highlighting the intended emotional range. Finally, there is a small section on Kadokawa Shuten's exhibition plans, mentioning video presentations of the opening and battle scenes, as well as character goods like telecards featuring Lunar. This page continues the deep dive into the Sega Saturn port of Lunar, Eternal Blue, highlighting the latest visual updates. You get to see stunning character art for key figures like Leo, Ranfa, and the majestic goddess Althena, alongside new screenshots showcasing the game's improved maps and battle visuals. The developers discuss their efforts to enhance the narrative, aiming for a story that is more easily understood and emotionally resonant for players. They emphasize creating compelling entertainment through a straightforward approach that allows anyone to be moved by the experience. The interview also touches upon the protagonist, Hyro, and how they are working to make him a character players can truly connect with. Interestingly, there's a note mentioning that the technology and experience gained from developing Lunar 2 were utilized in the creation of Grandia, highlighting the lineage of these classic RPGs. The focus remains on delivering a richly enhanced version of this beloved adventure on the Saturn. This page features a deep dive into Code SAR, a unique fusion of racing and adventure game elements developed by Quintet. The report highlights the game's structure, which combines realistic racing segments with narrative-driven adventure sections. You'll navigate the world in adventure mode, taking on part-time jobs and races to earn money and advance the story. The goal is to become a professional driver, but importantly, the game also features dating simulation elements, allowing you to build relationships with various female characters. Screenshots show both racing sequences and character interactions in dialogue boxes, illustrating the dual nature of the gameplay. A key system mentioned is fame, which influences your interactions with girls.
You need to prove yourself as a driver to gain recognition and progress in the romance subplots.
The visuals feature detailed character art and screenshots, capturing the game's blend of racing action and adventure scenes. The page also briefly touches on Quintet's plans for exhibiting the game, suggesting a playable demo might be available at an upcoming event. This page is dedicated to Treasure's debut arcade title, Radiant Silvergun, highlighting its development on the STV hardware. The article provides a detailed look at this highly anticipated vertical shooter. It explains the game's unique scoring system, emphasizing that score isn't just a number but crucial for powering up your ship through earning experience value. Chaining same-colored enemies for bonuses and multipliers is key to mastering this system. The basic controls and weapon system are detailed, explaining that the ship has 7 distinct weapon types, accessed via 3 buttons, and their combinations. These include standard shots, homing weapons, spreads, and special attacks like the powerful hypersword, which charges up as you destroy enemies. A major focus is placed on the game's extensive boss battles. It mentions that one stage alone features over 5 bosses, indicating that boss fights make up a significant portion of the game, contrasting with typical arcade shooters, where standard enemy waves dominate. Screenshots showcase various impressive boss designs. Finally, the page touches upon Treasure's presence at the Tokyo Game Show, confirming the game's exhibit and mentioning that a playable demo featuring stages 1 and 2 would be available. Merchandise like a soundtrack CD and character goods were also planned for sale, including items related to Silhouette Mirage. The report conveys excitement for the game's impending release and its unique gameplay approach. This page dives into Dragon Force 2 with a preview based on a sample room. It highlights the improvements to the game's field map and strategic elements. The field map now features zoom in and out capabilities, allowing players to observe distant troop movements or focus on nearby details, all with smooth scrolling. A new fast mode is introduced to significantly speed up the passage of time and character movement on the map, making gameplay flow quicker when needed. The article details the various options available within the field map menu, which are crucial for managing your kingdom. These include searching for your own armies and generals, examining their status and location. You can also search for specific locations, like towns, castles, and dungeons across the continent of Legendra, viewing information about them. A force map shows the distribution of power among the 9 nations, helping players understand the current strategic situation. Finally, the ability to save the game from the map screen is confirmed. The preview suggests the field map is more realistic and detailed than in the previous game, making these strategic options clearer and more effective for planning your conquest. Character illustrations of key figures from the game are also featured. This page focuses on the improved internal affairs system in Dragon Force 2, highlighting how it makes gameplay smoother compared to the previous game. The internal affairs menu offers 10 distinct commands for managing your kingdom, covering crucial actions like giving rewards to your generals and troops, equipping characters with items, managing prisoners captured in battle, holding meetings to discuss kingdom matters, building and upgrading castles, and researching new items and weapons. The article emphasizes 2 key new features. First, the adjutant, or deputy, system allows you to appoint a subordinate who can help manage some of the internal affairs tasks, supporting character development, and potentially automating some actions. Second, the research system introduces a new dimension where you can gather materials and invest time to create powerful new equipment. Screenshots illustrate the different menu screens for these actions, including the rewards menu, equipment lists, prisoner options, castle building interface, meeting options, and the step-by-step process of researching new items. The core loop of strengthening your forces through these strategic decisions is central to your conquest of Legendra. This page dives into the opening scenarios for 2 of the kingdoms in Dragon Force 2, the Botzak Kingdom and the Tradnoa Kingdom. It provides glimpses into the initial events and introduces the key characters for each nation. For the Botzak Kingdom, we learn about Gongas, a young general dealing with urgent matters, and the appearance of the legendary Tyrese. The kingdom is described as having few inhabitants, but known for its strong character and fierce warriors. Character relationships like loyalty and admiration are shown connecting Gongas, his adjutant Ces, and generals like Maria, Fialina, Gonzalez, and Marquez. The Tradnoa Kingdom section focuses on Salinas, who becomes the acting ruler while searching for her missing father. A significant early event involves discovering an ancient robotic relic named Kathmandu. This kingdom's character relationships highlight connections between Sedanis, her adjutant shepherd, and generals like Winston, Barley, Agnes, and Poulsen, illustrating dynamics like teacher-student bonds, friendship, and loyalty. The page uses screenshots to show important moments like character interactions, map movement, and battle scenes, giving players a feel for the game's early narrative progression and the unique cast they will command in their quest to conquer Legendra.
This page serves as a preview update for the House of the Dead on Sega Saturn, focusing on exclusive features being added to the home console port. It reveals 2 original modes: a boss mode where players can challenge the game's bosses directly to compete for the fastest clear times, and a Saturn mode that introduces alternate playable characters with varying stats like life, ammo capacity, attack power, and reload speed. This allows for different strategic approaches to gameplay. The article also highlights the robust options menu, including light gun calibration, and notes that the arcade game over sequence, which shows your branching path through the stages, is faithfully reproduced. The page details the stats and characteristics of the main playable characters, Rogan and Game, along with their alternate versions, Rogan 2 and Game 2, hinting at how their different abilities will impact gameplay. It also previews the bosses like Chariot and Hanged Men, offering brief tips on how to defeat them.
The preview promises a reveal of Stage 4 in the next issue. This page offers a dynamic preview update for Shining Force 2i Scenario 2, focusing on significant power-ups to event scenes and a richer variety of adventure scenarios. Known for its surprising 연출 and engaging story progression, the Shining Force series continues to evolve. This sequel introduces new types of scenes designed to keep players on their toes, including revisiting locations from the first scenario like the tank, but with altered situations. The preview highlights 4 distinct new situations players will encounter. Situation 1 allows for conversations mid-battle, enabling characters to join your party or be rescued, or even talk to enemies. Situation 2 showcases enhanced DSP effects, bringing more impressive visual effects beyond just magic spells to the battlefield. Situation 3 features bombardment, leading to dynamic terrain changes, where parts of the battlefield can be destroyed, altering strategic options. Finally, Situation 4 introduces ancient ruins exhibiting mysterious over-technology, presenting structures with defensive capabilities that can be utilized strategically. The main illustration depicts Medion and his companions on a ship, battling a giant octopus, hinting at the new sea adventures awaiting players. The article teases that the mystery of the ruins in Scenario 2 might be revealed. This preview offers a glimpse into the many exciting 연출 that will enhance the game's narrative and gameplay. The next page gives us an exciting update on the Sega Saturn version of Super Real Mahjong P7, a popular mahjong title from the arcades that's quickly nearing completion. After some anticipation, the game is finally making the leap to home consoles. This Saturn port isn't just a straight arcade conversion, it offers significant enhancements. Players can now choose from 3 distinct story paths, each influencing the order of opponents and event scenes. The game features 4 main characters: Aina Mahina, 15, a cheerful middle schooler who loves mahjong; Kataka Randu, 25, Aina's seemingly calm but ambitious private tutor; Natsuki Mahina, 18, Aina's skilled competitive older sister; and Etsuko Toyohara, 20, a kind live-in helper. The visuals are upgraded, including the controversial clothing removal sequences carried over from the arcade version. The character windows during gameplay are larger, and characters will even talk during matches, adding more personality to the game. You also get improved opening and event scenes. The article highlights the different story themes you can choose, like club activities, rivalry, or private lessons with Kataka-sensei. Set to release on May 14th, this looks like a solid port, bringing the arcade mahjong action and its unique visuals home. This page continues showcasing the upcoming Sega Saturn version of Super Real Mahjong P7, highlighting content exclusive to this home console release. The page features vibrant character art, depicting the girls in various summer settings not found in the arcade game. We see Aina Mahina enjoying herself at a private beach, Yurina Aihara relaxing poolside, and Kataka Randao in an open-air bath. These scenes are presented as new animation sequences added for the Saturn version, emphasizing the lush environments of a villa setting, also shown in an overhead map. Winning matches in the game unlocks these detailed graphics. Beyond the main game, the Saturn version is packed with extras. There's a quiz to test your Super Real Mahjong SAP7 knowledge, with correct answers potentially revealing more graphics. Additionally, players can access reference materials, including character and setting designs, offering a deeper look into the game's productions. As a special feature, the page also mentions a prize giveaway for signed boards from the voice actors. The overall presentation emphasizes the enhanced visual content and bonus features designed specifically for the Sega Saturn audience. This page delves into the development of the mystery adventure game, Cross Tante Monogatari, Cross Detective Story, highlighting the three main challenges the developers tackled. One challenge involved prioritizing quality, even delaying the release to enhance the second disc's content, and provide a more challenging experience for players. Another key focus was on significantly reducing loading times between scenes using a unique technique called Mahaseek, aiming to keep the pace flowing without noticeable delays. The third challenge centered on perfecting the control system for a mystery adventure, showcasing various interface methods. The page illustrates command input, point-and-click investigation, text input for direct answers, and a continuous questioning system, all designed to make the gameplay intuitive and engaging. The screenshots display character conversations, different locations like a train station and indoor settings, and examples of these varied input screens, emphasizing the game's commitment to providing a deep and accessible detective experience. This page provides a detailed look at Roommate 3, highlighting the new systems implemented to enhance the player's relationship with the game's heroine, Ryuko. Key additions include a calendar system for managing time and planning dates, a voice exchange diary where Ryuko shares her thoughts via a talking bear plushie, and a herb-growing minigame designed to deepen your bond. A major new feature is the ability to go on dates outside the apartment, with locations like Kamakura and Enoshima featured on maps, showcasing event scenarios you can experience in town. The report also confirms the return of classic events, including the traditional shower scene. Screenshots illustrate these new systems in action, showing the calendar interface, interactions with the talking bear, the herb-growing screen, and various date events CGS set in the new outdoor environments. The game promises a diverse range of experiences as you live and date Ryuko. This page features a prominent announcement for the Sega Saturn release of the arcade horror rail shooter, The House of the Dead. It highlights the game's intense horror theme and gun-shooting gameplay, showing key art with zombies breaking through a door and several in-game screenshots. The page also includes general magazine content, such as the Conehead Club section, with messages and thoughts from contributors covering various topics, including gaming experiences with the King of Fighters 97, and updates on life events. There is a manga strip section titled Go, providing lighthearted comic content. Reader-submitted artwork is showcased in the quote feature. Promotional information includes an announcement for a Sega Saturn Festa event and the release of a theme song CD. This page is a submission postcard form intended for readers of Saturn Fan Magazine to send in their contributions. It's addressed to Tim in Tokyo, a common address for magazine submissions back in the day. Readers could use this postcard to submit various things by marking the relevant box, including game scores for the game score sheet section, content for the Conehead Club, which was featured on the previous page with reader messages, or other general letters and illustrations. The form includes fields for the submitter's address, name, phone number, pen name, and age, making it easy for the magazine to process submissions. It's a standard tool for fan engagement, facilitating the interactive sections of the magazine. This page is packed with reader-submitted content, showcasing the vibrant Sega Saturn fan community. It features various sections for fan interaction, including Kids Hope, which highlights expectations for upcoming releases like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel. The Corn Kids Network board serves as a lively message board where readers discuss games, Saturn's image, and share opinions, sometimes debating passionately. The Voices of Porting Request section shows fans eagerly requesting specific arcade titles and games like Zero Gunner, Theme Park, and Model 2 games to be brought to the Saturn. A major part of the page is dedicated to reader artwork in the 13th Illustration Hall of Fame and Illustration Gallery. Fans showcase their talent by drawing characters from popular games like Princess Crown, Nights into Dreams, Baroque, Grandia, Sakura Wars 2, The King of Fighters, Darkstalkers, and Winter Heat, among others. There's also the Sega Am Freak section, celebrating Sega's arcade divisions and their influence on console gaming, featuring more fan art related to characters from their games. It's clear this page is a hub for fans to share their passion, voice their opinions, and display their artistic skills related to the world of Sega. This page is a vibrant showcase of the Sega Saturn fan community's passion, featuring various sections dedicated to different games. We see clubs, or associations for fans of Dragon Force, Sakura Wars, Grandia, Tactics, Ogre Battle, and Neon Genesis Evangelion, filled with reader-submitted artwork and comments celebrating their favorite characters and moments. The My Favorite Game section gives readers a platform to share their most cherished experiences, with one notable mention describing the intense Blood Factory mechanic, which sounds very much like the enemy soul system from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, highlighting how deeply players engage with game systems. Other fans discuss games like Zap, likely referring to a light gun game, and the obscure Seven Warriors of Wind. The Cornhead Club Q&A provides insight into fan questions and editorial responses, covering topics like recommended games, technical aspects such as the expansion RAM's utility for Grandia, and ongoing community discussions related to popular titles like Evangelion. It's clear the fans are deeply invested, not just playing but also creating and discussing the games they love. This page dives into the world of Sega Saturn software, presenting sales data and fan-voted rankings. The sales charts show us what players were buying, with Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team and Gekido leading the way in the 2 featured weeks, alongside other popular titles like Burning Rangers, Winter Heat, and Sakura Wars. The popularity ranking reveals what games fans were most excited about purchasing, with Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, dominating the list, desired by nearly half of the surveyed voters. Other highly anticipated titles included Super Robot Wars F Final, Darkstalkers 3, and ports like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and Resident Evil. Finally, the Porting Hope ranking highlights games fans desperately wanted on the Saturn, showcasing desires for titles like To Heart, Tales of Destiny, Final Fantasy V2, and Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. A page also teases a focus on Sega Ages titles in the next issue's porting ranking, giving a glimpse into the future content. Overall, it's a great look at the Saturn community's current interests and future hopes. This page features the highly anticipated reader rankings and game critiques. The big news is that the simulation RPG Chaos Seed has taken the top spot, with the epic RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga right behind it at number 2. Following them are competitive titles like Winter Heat, Magical Girl, Pretty Sammy, and Photogenic. The reviews delve into what players thought. Chaos Seed is praised for its unique blend of dungeon creation simulation and action RPG elements. Players found its deep systems and charming characters appealing, although some felt the dungeon building could be a bit repetitive. The developers mention working hard to make it enjoyable. Panzer Dragoon Saga is lauded for its incredible story and atmospheric world building, pulling players deep into its unique setting. While some felt it was a bit short or had repetitive combat, the overwhelming sentiment was positive, highlighting the emotional impact and cinematic presentation. The sweetness and spiciness ratings from readers give a quick snapshot of how the games were perceived. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page features a prominent strategy guide for Even the Lost One, showcasing impressive character artwork from the game. The guide focuses on the mid-game scenarios for both the Kyuko and Snake arcs, providing flowcharts and addressing navigation issues, specifically highlighting solutions for handling the frequent and sometimes mandatory disc swapping points, a common challenge in multi-disc Saturn adventures. On the left side, the page presents ranked reader feedback for 4 games: Uno DX, the fighting game Sokusei Tokai, the arcade-style shooter Gunblaze S, and the shogi simulation Honkaku Shogi Shinan Wakamatsu Shogi Juku, giving insight into the player experience with each title. The page also promotes submitting reviews for future issues. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for the classic Sega Saturn visual novel, Even the Lost One, picking up from the previous installment. This section focuses on the Kyuko arc, detailing events across June 2nd and the beginning of June 3rd. For June 2nd, the guide covers Kyuko's morning routine, including a crucial phone call that leads to a misunderstanding. It then follows her movements to the tower for shopping and a meal, tragically culminating in her being caught in a sudden explosion. Detailed flowcharts map out her actions and choices in her room and within the tower. Navigation aids like a map of key locations and a movement chart showing available destinations from different points are also provided. Moving into June 3rd, Part 1, the guide highlights Kyuko's first official duty as an investigator, looking into a murder case. It follows her investigation, which intersects with the aftermath of the tower explosion, and involves meetings with various key characters, including Natsumi, Mirai, and Yuji. The narrative progresses through locations like the main headquarters building, the aquarium, and the research institute, where a significant scene involving hacking takes place, further entangling Kyuko in the complex plot involving Snake and Professor Hakase. Screenshots throughout illustrate the dramatic events and character interactions. The guide effectively breaks down these sequences with flowcharts, helping players navigate the branching story paths. The next page continues the EVE, the Lost One strategy guide for the Kyuko arc, covering June 3rd, Part 2, and June 4th. On June 3rd, Kyuko heads to the park, where she talks with Rin, learning about her difficulties. The guide then follows her investigation into Altile Corporation, showing flowcharts for navigating the tower and gathering information, including meeting with the president and an office lady. She also meets Yuji at a soba shop. Screenshots show Kyuko talking with Rin and investigating Altile Corp. Moving to June 4th, things get intense. The guide details the discovery of Natsumi's murder and the subsequent second bombing incident at the aquarium. Kyuko and Mirai are caught up in the chaos, with screenshots depicting the shocking events and characters like Natsumi and Mirai. There's also a mysterious phone call from Rin, highlighted as a crucial moment. Finally, the guide shows how Kyuko manages to obtain a fax printout of the bomber's face, providing a vital clue, despite initial failures. The page also notes key disk exchange points, A and B, indicating where players might switch between character arcs. Screenshots show the murder scene, Kirin on the phone, and the bomber's fax. This page dives into the mysterious Snake arc of Eve the Lost One, detailing the events of June 2nd and the first part of June 3rd. The focus shifts to the enigmatic Snake as he becomes entangled in the bombing incidents, guided by the cryptic figure known as Adonis. The guide provides flowcharts outlining Snake's actions on these days, navigating between key locations like the tower, park, tea house, and Snake's own apartment, as shown on the included map. A detailed movement chart clarifies available travel options. Key events are highlighted, starting with Snake setting a bomb in a boutique, followed by receiving strange voicemail messages from Adonis, often accompanied by unsettling imagery. Players must then investigate Adonis, uncovering hints about his connection to Greek mythology. The story progresses as Snake meets two foreign students, Meina and Monica, at a tea house. Further encounters include spotting President Kudu at the park and discovering Monica searching Snake's room for something related to memory. Meina sheds light on her home country, Eltidia. The arc takes a dark turn, with an encounter with a suspicious young man in the park, noted as someone who was reportedly killed the previous day. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate these pivotal moments and characters, providing visual context for Snake's unfolding, puzzle-filled narrative. This page continues the strategy guide for the Snake arc in Even the Lost One, covering the intense events of June 3rd Part 2 and June 4th. The narrative picks up with Snake taking Monica back to his room, followed by a deep dive into hacking systems to investigate Hazama and Natsumi, specifically searching for a small bottle. Snake successfully intercepts Natsumi and obtains the bottle, but immediately after, tragedy strikes, as Natsumi is stabbed by an unknown assailant. Snake also overhears a peculiar monologue from the president during this time. Moving into June 4th, the search for Adonis leads Snake to the Hazama biology lab, where the director, Hazama, becomes a prime suspect for Adonis's true identity. Following this lead, Snake plants a bomb in the aquarium. However, the situation escalates dramatically when Snake is spotted by Kyoko. This leads to a perilous confrontation with the director, Monica, and Kyoko, putting Snake's identity at risk and ending this section on a major cliffhanger. Several screenshots highlight these pivotal moments, including the hacking sequence, the stabbing of Natsumi, and Snake being discovered by Kyoko in the aquarium. The guide details the progression through these critical game events. This Eve, the Lost One strategy guide, details achieving different endings with characters Rika and Maria. Branching endings are determined by accumulating points for each character. 3+ points unlocks endings. Higher point totals generally lead to a character's ending, with normal and gold options. Rika has priority over Maria in tie situations. Detailed profiles outline point requirements for each character's gold and normal endings, including gold points and conditions related to other characters and the culprit confrontation. Walkthroughs for key scenes, like saving Chisa, investigating the data room, and interacting with Tatatsumu, explain how to gain points and progress. This page continues the strategy guide for Eve, the Lost One, detailing key events and character interactions that impact progression and survival. The page focuses on specific scenes involving Ryo, Marie, Norma, and Kosuzu, outlining how to achieve successful outcomes or gain points. The guide covers Scene 04, where Ryo is found collapsed in the principal's room, Scene 04, a Marie Point event about a chemistry problem solved with the teacher. Scene 04, a Marie sub-event involving the teacher's glasses. Scene 05, Norma's survival event trapped in the bath. Scene 06, finding a body in a plaster cast. Scene 07, a Marie sub-event showing anxiety. Scene 08, Kosuzu's survival event in the trophy room. And Scene 09, a Marie survival event focused on getting a key from a vent. Each section provides steps on where to go, what items to interact with, and the resulting outcomes, such as saving a character or gaining points towards an ending. For instance, rescuing Norma or correctly solving the chemistry problem with Marie earns points. The guide emphasizes critical choices and actions needed to navigate these potentially fatal or point-influencing scenarios. This page continues the strategy guide for Eve, the Lost One, detailing key character point and survival events. It starts with Scene 10, a Marie Point event where players find and interact with the teacher's music box, earning a point with Marie. Scene 11 covers using Key 05 to access the storeroom and obtain a bicycle pedal, noting a chest that requires specific items for a later Rio Point event. Scene 13 details a critical Rio Point event, rescuing Rio from a locked room and descending to the second basement. Opening the chest from Scene 11 now becomes possible, awarding Rio 1 point before players head down a rope ladder where Rio reacts to the environment. Scene 14 highlights a Rio Gold event in the piano room. Playing the piano after opening its lock triggers an emotional scene with Rio and awards a gold point. Scene 12, a Rio survival event, explains how to use the pedal and a rope to save Rio from a room after encountering Tabuchi, earning Rio 1 point. Finally, Scene 15 is another Rio Point event in the piranha room, where players witness Tabuchi's body, find a key in a fish tank using a specific item, and earn Rio 1 point, though Rio has a slight accident. The page emphasizes crucial interactions and point-earning opportunities with Marie, and especially Rio, showcasing key moments with character dialogue. This page continues the strategy guide for the visual novel game, Eve, the Lost One. It details more key events and point-earning opportunities, primarily focusing on the characters Itsuki and Marie. Scene 16 covers an Itsuki survival event, where you are chased and must find a safe place to hide with Itsuki. Earning a point here involves successfully evading danger and potentially examining a body for clues. Scene 17 is a Marie sub-event, where you enter a shocking scene in a changing room, focusing on Marie's state and whereabouts. Scene 18 is a Marie Gold event that involves finding a telescope on a rooftop. After solving a small puzzle with a chest to access it, you can view the stars with Marie, triggering a calm and reflective scene that awards a gold point. Finally, Scene 19, titled Escape from Nightmare, describes a sequence where you use a key to access a basement area, navigate through floors using an elevator, find a ladder, and climb it to escape, likely a puzzle or escape scenario. The page also features a joint fan and data collector project with the developers, including a queue and a character popularity poll, offering fans a chance to contribute and win prizes. This page features a strategy guide focused on building a professional baseball team, presented as a developer interview and advice section. It dives into key areas for strengthening your team in a baseball management simulation game. The guide covers how to increase team popularity and drawing power, which are crucial for revenue. It details effective training methods for players, emphasizing the importance of rest and avoiding injuries, and offers tips on selecting the right coaches to maximize player potential. Specific advice is given on developing pitchers, particularly focusing on reliable starters and relievers with good stamina, and how to improve hitter abilities. The section on acquiring new players discusses leveraging trades, scouting for talent, and developing rookies. Screenshots illustrate various in-game elements like training menus, player stats, screens showing pitching and batting attributes, and event scenes. The page also introduces members of the development team, including a director, designer, and programmer, who share insights into the game's mechanics and strategy. Overall, it's a comprehensive look at how to manage and build a winning team in this simulation title. This page continues the strategy guide for Baseball Tsuku, diving deeper into team management beyond basic training. It features insights directly from the development team, exploring nuanced aspects of building a winning club. The guide covers advanced player acquisition methods, like scouting for promising rookies, listing some of the best scouts available, and comparing the pros and cons of trading players versus signing foreign talent. The developers weigh in, suggesting a preference for Asian players. There's a section on creating and developing custom-edited players, emphasizing their potential to reach the coveted class level. Player morale is discussed, detailing how dissatisfaction can escalate and impact performance, and the developers stress the importance of keeping players happy. The page also reveals secrets for boosting team revenue through merchandise sales, and highlights the benefits of sending players abroad for study to improve their skills. Finally, it teases the possibility of a sequel, Baseball Tsuku 2, and includes a password to access the development team's roster in the game. Screenshots showcase player stats, merchandise options, and various in-game events related to player development and morale. This page continues coverage of Baseball Tsuku, featuring detailed tables showing how players' abilities grow when they take on roles as veterans or coaches. An accompanying explanation clarifies the numerical scale used for abilities and growth rates, highlighting which numbers signify high growth potential. The main feature is the second part of the strategy guide for the Sega Saturn title, Burning Rangers. Described as a 3D action game with 4 missions, this segment focuses on content unlocked after clearing the game once. It reveals secret techniques and provides strategy for Mission 3, set in a space colony. A significant draw for replayability is the Map Generate system, which randomizes the level layout upon subsequent playthroughs, altering paths and opening previously inaccessible areas. Another cool secret is the possibility of rescuing development staff members, who, upon being saved, provide special passwords. These passwords can unlock additional playable characters, such as Big and Reed, adding further depth to the experience. This page offers a comprehensive strategy guide and point-by-point walkthrough for Mission 3 of Burning Rangers, set within a floating, derelict space colony. It details the challenging environment, marked by widespread destruction and hazards like fire and explosions, explaining that the randomized map layout requires careful navigation on subsequent playthroughs. The guide breaks down the mission area into sequential blocks, marked by letters A through S on the map, and accompanying screenshots. It describes specific actions needed at each location, such as activating switches to open doors, A, B, C, N, O, P, dealing with specific enemies like the agile Hat-Bee working robots, D, F, navigating perilous zones filled with fire, E, S, or zero gravity, M, and finding rescuees or necessary items like ID cards, G, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. The guide stresses the importance of observing environmental cues, like the red-hot floors indicating imminent fire bursts in Section S. Finally, the guide covers the boss encounter for Mission 3, the formidable IG Org. It highlights that unlike previous bosses, this fight takes place in a confined space. The strategy focuses on dodging Igorg's arm attacks using jumps, side rolls, and vernier movements, while concentrating charged shots on its right arm, specifically targeting the wire claw to defeat it. This page presents a comprehensive strategy guide for the dating simulation game, Pia e Yukoso, focusing on building relationships with the girls you work alongside during your summer job at the restaurant. The guide emphasizes the importance of understanding each girl's schedule and preferences to effectively raise parameters and trigger events necessary for a happy ending. It breaks down key aspects of the game, starting with a list of parameters like appearance, kindness, stamina, and study, explaining how actions like working specific shifts, waiter/cashier, or studying, increase them. A crucial element highlighted is checking the girls' work schedules to align your shifts and maximize opportunities for interaction. The guide stresses that morning activities are vital for progress and can lead to important events, recommending saving frequently before taking action. Screenshots illustrate gameplay moments, like studying in the room or waiting at the train station, showing typical morning options. There's also a section on specific character strategies, featuring Marinohara Satomi, detailing how focusing on cooking-related activities and timing is essential for her route, accompanied by screenshots of kitchen scenes and character interactions. The guide also points out the effectiveness of talking to the girls when they return home to boost affection. Overall, it provides essential tips for navigating the game's time management and relationship-building mechanics. This Pia e Yukoso strategy guide provides detailed steps to romance various heroines. Kuriko's route is straightforward, focusing on conversation and timing. Reika's route requires careful choices in specific locations like the kitchen and warehouse. Yukiko's path involves comic market, train stations, and studying. Shiho needs frequent visits to Pia and attention to her requests. Kiyomi's route centers on school attendance and studies. Sayori requires guest service focus and conversation skill. Finally, Yukari needs a strong relationship with the owner and attention to dishes. The guide uses screenshots to highlight key locations and events for each character. This page features a special project with actress and singer Tomosaka Ri, experiencing the music production tool and game, Techno Motor. She sits down for an interview and play session, sharing her thoughts on using a music software for the first time. Initially, she found it a bit challenging, but ultimately enjoyable, especially being able to create something herself. The game, Techno Motor, is described as a unique music software focused on composition and performance, supporting 2 players with a TV and band setup and stereo sound. The page includes screenshots showing Tomosaka Ri playing the game with a controller, interacting with the on-screen interface which visualizes sound parameters, and reacting to the gameplay. She tries composing a little tune and plays along to built-in songs like Redeem. The article highlights her positive experience and expresses her interest in potentially creating her own songs in the future. There is also a brief section on her new album and video release, Kari Tomosaka vs. Eri Sakamoto, Live and Remix. This page continues the look at the music creation software and game, Techno Motor, showing more details on how players can compose and perform. It highlights setting instrument sounds, composing songs by placing notes on a grid, and structuring pieces using patterns for melody, bass, and rhythm. The article mentions demo songs included in the game, like Rydeen and Lost Restaurant, showcasing the software's capabilities. Screenshots display the different composition interfaces and views of the musical data. The right side shifts focus entirely to J.League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2, announcing an exciting special version and an exchange service for existing owners. This version aims to increase the appearance rate of highly sought-after scouts and players, specifically mentioning legendary names like Nagamura Hiroshi and Michel Graf, who were previously very difficult to find. Players can swap their original game disc for this special version via mail, with a fee for the service. Additionally, there is an announcement for the second official Satafan Cup tournament for the game, detailing the structure and categories for participants. This page presents a reader survey and a substantial giveaway, offering 50 lucky readers a chance to win one of 10 Sega Saturn games. The prize lineup includes major titles like Sakura Wars, The House of the Dead, and The King of Fighters 97, alongside other notable releases such as Super Robot Wars, F Final Chapter, Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Ambition, Dragon Force 2, Roommate Ryoko in the Light of the Wind, Dungeon Master Nexus, Choro Q Park, and Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 2. The survey aims to capture reader demographics and, more importantly, their opinions on the magazine's content and the state of Sega Saturn software. It asks for feedback on specific articles and features from this issue, as well as preferences regarding currently played and upcoming games. Readers are encouraged to refer to various reference lists provided on the page, detailing articles, other magazines, console hardware, popular games played, and a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn titles scheduled for release after March 12th. This wealth of information indicates the magazine's effort to understand its audience and the vibrant, expanding library available for the Saturn at the time. Instructions are included for submitting the survey via a postcard found later in the magazine, emphasizing clear writing for computer processing before the stated deadline. This page features a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn games that were available for purchase up to March 5th. Organized neatly by genre, it showcases the diverse library the console had built, covering everything from fast-paced action and deep role-playing games to strategic simulations, engaging adventures, various forms of shooting games both 2D and 3D, popular sports and race titles, and classic table and puzzle games. The list provides a great overview of the software landscape at the time, giving readers a sense of the choices available. Notably, the far-right column lists the specific games being offered as prizes in the reader giveaway, highlighting some key titles from the list. This detailed catalog serves as an excellent reference for fans looking to explore or acquire titles released by the specified date. The next page dives into the real-time game ranking, or ranking street, offering insights into player reception. The main section presents a general game ranking, presumably across platforms, highlighting top titles based on a combination of votes and overall scores. While the full table is shown, key games appearing near the top include Culdcept, Thunder Force V, Even Burst Error, J-League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2, Grandia, and Super Robot Wars Fei, indicating strong performance and popularity for these titles at the time. A separate section focuses specifically on Sega Saturn games, released up to February 5th. This list provides a snapshot of player satisfaction for the Saturn's recent library. Editorial notes accompanying this ranking mention that the top positions have seen shifts, with Grandia and Super Robot Wars Flay leading the pack after Culdicept, which had initially held the top spot. They also touch upon a satisfaction ranking corner, suggesting that while some highly ranked games are blockbusters, lower-ranked titles often show high satisfaction among their dedicated players, particularly niche genres like puzzle games, board games, or older arcade ports, which tend to have a passionate but smaller fan base compared to mainstream hits. The text explains the ranking methodology briefly, mentioning votes and a weighted scoring system. This page dives into the Game Research Lab, offering a detailed guide for the adventure game Tsuchipai Adventure, Doki Doki Nightmare. The focus here is on helping players progress and unlock all the voice data available from Monday to Friday. The guide covers 5 key characters: Yuki Mizuno, Milk, Sayuri Kawamoto, Mai Amano, and Reika Tachibana. For each character, it provides a walkthrough detailing specific events, the required day, time, and location to trigger them, and any other necessary conditions or supplementary explanations. It highlights the game's strength in character interactions, noting the goal is to hear all the recorded voice events, which is presented as a challenge for the player. The page serves as an essential resource for players looking to fully experience the character routes and unlock all the game's voiced content. This page is dedicated to reader feedback and community voices, titled Hello from the Questionnaire Postcards. It compiles various comments from Sega Saturn fans sharing their thoughts on games, recent events like sports victories, and personal gaming experiences. You see small illustrations accompanying some comments, adding a personal touch. The page also features rankings based on reader surveys, specifically listing the top 10 most interesting and most satisfying articles from recent issues of the magazine. Finally, it announces the winners of various reader surveys and contests, listing names for prizes related to game releases or general surveys. This section really highlights the direct connection between the magazine and its readership, showcasing what resonated most with the fans. This page features a large advertisement split into 2 main sections. On the left is an advertisement for the Tokyo game designer Gakuen, a school offering various courses in game design, programming, and graphic arts, highlighting its campuses and graduate placements. The right side is a vibrant advertisement for the Sega Saturn game, Welcome to Pia Carrot. This is a classic romance simulation game set in a family restaurant during summer vacation. The artwork prominently displays the main female characters in their signature waitress uniforms. The ad mentions the game is now on sale for Sega Saturn and includes details about the release, such as a limited edition with print sheets and trading cards, and the price. Small screenshots showcase the game's visual novel-style scenes. It also highlights features like choosing uniforms, full voice acting for the female characters, and content exclusive to the Sega Saturn version, including original anime sequences and additional scenarios. The game is rated 18+. This page is a tear-out postcard from Saturn Fan number 6. Designed for reader interaction, it serves as both an entry form for the magazine's giveaway and a reader feedback survey. You can fill in your address, name, and phone number to enter the prize drawing. Additionally, there's a section dedicated to game evaluation, asking readers to pick games they've played from a specific list on page 115 and rate them using a simple icon-based system. Finally, you indicate which prize you want from the current issue's offerings by writing its number. It's a standard method for magazines of the era to gather reader opinions and run contests. The next page features the King of Fighters 97 for the Sega Saturn, highlighting the game as the dramatic conclusion to the long-running Orochi saga. The article emphasizes the game's large roster of 29 characters and details their super special moves. It proudly proclaims a perfect arcade port, noting the high quality of the graphics and animations. Special attention is given to the new additions to the roster, including Shingo Yabuki as a new character exclusive to Team Edit alongside Yori Yagami, and the powerful new Faces team consisting of Yashiro Nanakase, Shermie, and Chris. Beyond the arcade perfect conversion, the Saturn version includes enhanced options and useful original features, like a dedicated practice mode and an art gallery, adding significant value for home players. Screenshots throughout the page showcase intense gameplay moments and character special attacks. This page dives deeper into the King of Fighters 97, specifically highlighting some of the iconic returning teams. You'll see dynamic illustrations of the hero team featuring Kyo Kusanagi, Benimaru Nikaido, and Goro Daimon, the core protagonists of the saga. Alongside them are the legendary Fatal Fury team, Terry Bogard and Goki Bogard, and Joe Higashi, bringing their classic fight styles. The Psycho Soldier team, Athena Asamiya, Si Kenso, and Shin Jensai, are also showcased, ready to use their psychic powers. Finally, the page features the Kim team, with the righteous Kim Kafwan attempting to re-educate the massive Chang Kohan and the agile Choi Bounge. Each section provides a brief overview of the characters and their motivations for entering the tournament, accompanied by screenshots demonstrating their signature moves in action. It's a great look at the diverse personalities and fighting styles that make up KOF 97's massive roster. The King of Fighters 97 boasts several fan-favorite and new teams. The Art of Fighting team, featuring Ryo, Robert, and Yuri Sakazaki, focuses on Kyokugen Ryu Karate. The Ikari Warriors, led by Leona Heidern, and including Ralph and Clark, are known for brutal close-quarters combat. The new Female Fighters team unites Chizuru, Mai, and King, showcasing Chizuru's unique abilities and Mai's ninja skills alongside King's Muay Thai. Lastly, the 97 Special Team, a fan-chosen trio, includes Ryuji Yamazaki, Blue Mary, and Billy Kane, offering a diverse dynamic. Screenshots highlight each fighter's special moves, showcasing the game's varied combat styles. This page introduces Princess Quest, an RPG for the Sega Saturn focused on solving mysteries and exploring. You play as Willow, who can transform into the beautiful girl Will using magic. The core gameplay involves switching between Willow and Will, each with different strengths. Willow for combat, Will for magic/investigation. To gather information, explore 2D town/castle areas, and navigate 3D dungeons. The main quest is to find a stolen treasure and investigate the suspicious behavior of 5 princesses who are candidates for Prince Tapioca's consort. The game features anime visuals with cutscenes integrated throughout the story. The page details early plot points involving a request from the Queen, the secret of Princess Gerard, and the suspicious actions of Princess Milphil, leading into an investigation of the Spirit Palace to save the prince. A limited trading card promotion is also mentioned. This page introduces Dungeon Master, a real-time 3D RPG for the Sega Saturn. It highlights the series' core features, including exploration, combat, and survival elements like eating and resting, all rendered with fully polygonal graphics. You begin by selecting a party of 4 from 20 potential heroes to descend into the dangerous dungeon. The game unfolds primarily through a 3D first-person view, where all movement, exploration, and battles occur in real time. Combat involves both weapon attacks and various types of magic, requiring tactical positioning and skillful use of character abilities. Survival is key. You must manage your party's health, stamina, mana, and even hunger and thirst by finding and consuming food and drink. The dungeon is filled with traps and puzzles, requiring careful observation and interaction using a hand pointer system to examine objects, manipulate switches, and solve riddles. Party formation is also crucial, as frontline and backline characters have different roles and capabilities in combat. This promises a deep and challenging experience for fans of classic dungeon crawlers. This page features 2 very different games. On the left is Tennis Arena, a 3D tennis game allowing up to 4 players simultaneously. It boasts fully polygonal graphics for players and courts, offering dynamic camera angles and replays. There are 5 unique courts, each with different bounce properties and backgrounds. The gameplay emphasizes control with various shot types like flat, backspin, topspin, and lob, plus aftertouch control. Players can unleash powerful special shots, and there are super special shots that trigger after multiple successful returns. The game features a roster of 10 players, 8 girls, and 2 hidden characters, with motion-captured movements and distinct personalities and abilities. On the right, we have Ayakashi Ninpao Kunoichi Ichiban Plus, a simulation/adventure game focused on ninja school life. The goal is to become the top female ninja, Kunoichi Ichiban, within a year at a special training academy, while also protecting 3 princesses. Daily life involves attending lessons to raise your character's parameters, interacting with friends to build relationships, and choosing activities during holidays and after school. Your progress is tested through both written exams and practical ninja skill tests, with difficulty adjusting based on performance. It blends school simulation elements with ninja action and character interactions. This page features Koro Q Park, an original Penny Racers title for the Saturn, separate from previous PlayStation entries. It's not your typical racing game. You start with a single penny racer and must collect over 80 different types to unlock more cars, either by winning races, collecting coins without hitting walls, buying them in the shop, or finding hidden rare cards on the tracks. The courses offered are wild, going beyond standard circuits to include cityscapes, ski slopes, and even obstacle-filled athletic tracks, each with unique rules and layouts that add to the fun. Gameplay includes more than just pure racing. You can interfere with rivals using disruptive items like tire hops and oil spills. A cool strategic element is the change system. At designated change points on the course, you can instantly swap your penny racer without stopping, adapting your car type to suit the current track section, whether it's an off-road patch or a long straight. Different penny racers fall into 10 performance categories, like sprint, cornering, off-road, and drift, each with specific strengths and weaknesses to consider for different race situations. There's even a neat feature where special events, potentially offering rare penny racers or unique races, are tied to the Saturn's internal clock. This page introduces Koro Q Park, a varied penny racers title with over 80 car types, strategic changing, and unique courses. This page presents a showcase of two action-packed games. On the left, we see the 2D fighting game Primal Rage, a port of the arcade hit featuring massive, powerful primal beasts and gods battling it out. The feature highlights its unique combat mechanics and introduces the 7 playable characters including Armadon, Blizzard, Sauron, and Vertigo. On the right is the 3D action title Quake, focusing on its dangerous, maze-like levels filled with traps and monsters. Players must navigate these challenging environments, using weapons and items, and can choose from 3 distinct character classes: Fighter, Cleric, and Mage, each with their own strengths. The page provides screenshots showing the gameplay from both titles. This page delves into the world of the Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 2, I Know Love Song, focusing on the popular character Ayane Katagiri. As an adventure game rooted in the beloved dating sim franchise, this entry centers around the protagonist's interactions with Ayane, a talented guitarist, leading up to a crucial band contest. The feature highlights various events the player will experience, showcasing scenes from school life, dates, and band practice. Gameplay involves making choices that influence the story's progression and the relationship with Ayane. A unique aspect is the inclusion of several mini-games scattered throughout dates and events, such as a Spot the Difference puzzle, a photo contest, and a swimming challenge, adding interactive elements to the narrative. The page also mentions other characters making appearances, including Mie Kuribayashi. The system emphasizes how player actions directly shape the outcome of the story, offering a personalized experience as you help Ayane and build your relationship before the big concert. This page features a compilation of arcade games called Wonder 3 in 1 Board, bringing 3 distinct arcade experiences to the platform. Players can choose from a puzzle game titled Donpuru, known internationally as Liquid Kids, a shooting game called Roosters, and an action title named Chariot, likely Chariot, New Horizons. The description highlights the variety, stating players can freely choose which genre to play. Screenshots showcase the colorful, character-driven visuals typical of these titles, featuring the aquatic protagonist of Liquid Kids, the flying characters of Roosters, and the distinctive hero from Chariots, New Horizons, riding his signature creature. The right side of the page is dedicated to a shogi, Japanese chess, software titled Aikyoku Kantaro, part of the Aizei Meijin power-up series. It's presented as a comprehensive shogi package suitable for players of all levels. Key features include standard game modes against the computer or friends, sumo shogi, chess puzzles, and the ability to replay famous historical shogi matches. The software boasts adjustable difficulty levels and helpful features like hints, making it accessible for beginners while challenging experts. It also includes an editor for creating original tsume shogi problems, adding significant replay value for shogi enthusiasts. Screenshots display the gameboard interface and various menu options. This page features a look at a dating sim board game called Tour Party, where players navigate a board, engaging in dates with various characters, encountering rivals, and triggering events, all with the goal of achieving a confession. Screenshots show the board game interface, character portraits, and event scenes. The main section is the Now on Sale Saturn Soft Impression Review feature, offering useful insights for purchasing recent software. Featured titles include the iconic arcade fighting game, The King of Fighters 97, the intense light gun shooter, The House of the Dead, and the visual novel adventure, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel. Different reviewers provide their impressions, discussing aspects like gameplay, story, and overall appeal, with scores given for each title. There's also a dedicated look at Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, highlighting it as a love story set in the world of Evangelion, emphasizing its adventure game elements and narrative focus. This page continues the Now on Sale Saturn Soft Impression feature, offering more reviews for recently released games. Here, we see impressions on several titles, including the visual novel Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 2, the arcade light gun shooter, The House of the Dead praised for its atmospheric port, and the fighting game, The King of Fighters 97, considered a strong arcade conversion. The page also features reviews for the action game Time Commando, the first-person shooter Hexen, and the arcade compilation Wonder 3, Arcade Gears. Reviewers provide their thoughts on gameplay, technical performance, and overall value, helping readers decide which games to purchase, with scores given for each title. This page continues the Now on Sale Saturn Soft Impression feature, showcasing reviews for several recent releases. The minicar racing game Choro-Q Park is a highlight, receiving strong praise for its abundance of tracks and collection elements, considered a top-tier racing experience on the platform, with an average score of 8.3. Other games reviewed include the fighting game Primal Rage, which is largely dismissed as an outdated and poorly adapted arcade port, earning a low average score of 5.3. Also featured are the tennis game Tennis Arena, noted for its character models and special shots but criticized for short single-player modes, and the simulation title Ayakashi Ninden Plus, liked for its characters but hampered by load times, both scoring an average of 5.3. Rounding out the reviews are the baseball game Pro Yaku Great Stadium 98, average 6.7, and the adventure RPG Princess Quest, average 5.0. The latter facing criticism for its difficulty and inconvenient mechanics despite appealing visuals. The next page continues the Now on Sale Saturn Soft Impression feature, reviewing more recent Saturn releases. Featured heavily is Dungeon Master Nexus, the latest entry in the classic RPG series. Reviewers are impressed, noting it successfully recaptures the immersive, challenging dungeon crawling experience, with excellent atmosphere and visuals, giving it a strong average score of 8.3. They praise its faithful adherence to the original formula, making it a must-play for fans of the genre. Also reviewed is Yoshimoto Shugi, a Japanese chess simulation. Reviewers discuss the AI difficulty and features, with mixed opinions on the challenge level, but generally finding it a solid shogi sim, earning an average score of 6.3. Technomoto is presented as a music creation tool, allowing users to compose their own tracks. A roundtable discussion covers impressions on several games, including the popular adventure title Sakura Wars, highlighting its appealing characters and story, with nods to Evangelion. They also touch upon the arcade port of The House of the Dead, and briefly revisit the previously reviewed Choro-Q Park. Finally, the action game Clock How Pow Island is reviewed. While its characters are found appealing, the game is criticized for its awkward 3D camera and simple polygonal graphics, resulting in a lower average score of 5.3. Reviewers felt the camera significantly hampered the gameplay experience. This page dives into the details of Cybertroopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram, showcasing the Virtualoids appearing in the game. It confirms the reveal of 11 machines at the AOU exhibition, presenting new CG artwork and details for each. Featured are 3 distinct Virtualoids. The familiar MBV-707F Temjin, the highly versatile standard machine, is shown with notes on its updated weapon set, including changes to its powerbomb and dash rifle from previous iterations. Also highlighted is the new RVR-87 Specin F, dubbed the Vengeful Assassin Machine. Its description points to a mysterious atmosphere, transforming weapon, high ground mobility, and energy ball attacks, suggesting a focus on aggressive, pursuing combat. Finally, the SGV-417L Angeline makes her debut as the 11th machine, described as a magical girl-like unit, specializing in ice magic. Notes emphasize her power in the AOU version and showcase her unique ice attacks, including a powerful, tracking ice dragons summoned from her arms. The article muses on her purpose and role as perhaps the series' first magical girl Virtualoid. This page details 4 more Virtualoids from Cybertroopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram. RVR-42 Cypher is a highly mobile, transformable unit with an air dash and a new weapon configuration. Multi-launcher, beam launcher, dagger, HBV-502H Raiden, a heavy machine, boasts improved optical weaponry, including a Grand Napalm and upgraded Hyper Bazooka, alongside a health-restoring red body and a transformed jump-dash bomb. The AFARM series features 2 variations. RVR-33 AFARMed S, a striker type with a funny launcher, grenade launcher and knife, and RVR-39 AFARMed B, a battler type wielding a submachine gun, tonfa, and grenade launcher. AFARMed B's tonfa system is notable for its attack setup and timing control, while AFARMed B's appears as a new, experimental unit. All units are showcased with gameplay and character select screen visuals. The next page continues the showcase of Virtualoids from Cybertroopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram. Featured are 4 unique units. First is RVR-14 Fan, highlighted for her high mobility and transformable capabilities. She's received a significant power-up from the previous game, with enhanced weapons like the handbeam and sword, an improved dash attack, and a homing heartbeam. Her turbo melee and overall appearance are also praised for their cuteness. Next is the experimental XBV-819TR Balbados, a complex multifunctional type reminiscent of Balbus Bow. It utilizes bit weapons extensively, including turbo shots and separating attacks. Its unique systems give it significant depth and make it a formidable opponent. Below is the SAV-326D Greasefolk, a heavy firepower unit whose form resembles Belugdul. It's equipped with various missile launchers, including a shoulder and overhead launcher, and can fire up to 4 homing missiles during jump attacks. The text questions its usability compared to Belugdul. Finally, the RVR-68 Dordre is presented as a heavy armor assault type, potentially a successor to Dordulkas. Its defining feature is the drill weapon, capable of penetrating obstacles and dealing damage while spinning. It also has potent dash attacks resembling the SLC type. The reviewer is impressed by its cool turbo melee and the unique drill weapon. This page features 2 main sections. On the left, the Tokimeki Beat Fast column continues, this time focusing on Tokimeki memorials. The discussion revolves around the production of Shiori Fujisaki's first single, featuring comments from the music director. The column also highlights limited edition merchandise for the game, including a lithograph and clear file set, along with special trading card collections available at the Tokyo Game Show. On the right is the Super Robot Maniacs SRX section, a vibrant reader illustration feature. Fans have submitted artwork depicting characters and mecha from various series popular in the Super Robot Wars universe. Illustrations include mecha like the Aura Battler Kustanga from Aura Battler Dunbine, and characters from Neon Genesis Evangelion, Asuka and Rei, Mobile Fighter Gi Gundam, Doman Kashu and Rain Mikamura, and characters from Super Robot Wars Original Generation. The section also includes a brief column titled Mayo's Little Good Stories, featuring Mayo Suga, a character prominent in the SRW series. This section showcases the fans' passion for the diverse world of giant robots and their pilots. This page kicks off with a deep dive into the creative process behind Dungeon Master Nexus, featuring an interview with producer Yoshiaki Iwasawa. He discusses the leap to 3Ds for this installment, the inherent challenges and joys of developing games, especially on the Saturn hardware, and the unique perspective of a producer who is also a programmer committed to the craft. It's fascinating to hear about the struggles and passion involved in bringing a classic series into a new dimension. Shifting gears, the page also provides an update on the Etude project. We get a glimpse into the intensive lessons the female voice cast is undergoing, including photos of script reading and movement practice, showing their dedication. The male cast members have also been finalized, featuring a lineup of popular voice actors like Toshihiko Seki, Kazuhiko Inoue, and Tomokazu Seki, bringing these characters to life. The Etude project isn't just one game. It's expanding into multiple areas, including a PC version, a short story CD series, and merchandise, building a whole multimedia universe. To involve fans, they've also announced an original story contest, with details coming soon.
This page is all about uncovering the hyper-alt tech, or hidden secrets, across a variety of Sega Saturn titles. Kicking off with Panzer Dragoon Saga, it details the process of evolving your dragon into the powerful Lightwing form and finding the necessary units scattered throughout the world. Moving on, for Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. Quote, there are tips on changing your team's uniform and adjusting the playback speed of voice passwords. Tamagotchi Park players can find out how to access 3 hidden modes by inputting a simple button code on the title screen, allowing them to view Tamagotchi characters and the staff role. The photogenic section dives into bonus modes for a character-centric game, revealing how to unlock galleries of character CGS, a sound test, and a studio mode after clearing the game. Meanwhile, fans of the horse racing game Minari 1 Furlong Theater can learn a command to make legendary racehorses appear. For extreme sports enthusiasts playing Zaps. Snowboarding Tricks 98. The page reveals that 5 hidden characters are unlocked by winning the championship. Finally, SD Gundam G Century S players get 2 useful tips: how to change the background wallpaper in the options menu, and how to freely move the game's windows around the screen for better UI customization. The page concludes with a section soliciting hidden tips and discoveries from readers. This page is an advertisement for a massive compilation book titled Superb Great Technique Library, 98 Spring Edition. It boasts an incredible volume of content, primarily focusing on alt tech, or hidden techniques and secrets, for a vast array of games across numerous platforms. The book covers systems like the Famicom, Super Famicom, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Neo Geo, 3DO, PC Engine, PCFX, Saturn, Mega Drive, Game Gear, Game Boy, and Virtual Boy. The ad highlights its extensive coverage, promising all alt tech for all games on all listed systems, along with game content introductions that make it useful as a catalog. The key feature mentioned is the comprehensive index, sorted both alphabetically and by manufacturer, designed for easy searching. A major focus is placed on PlayStation and Saturn content, with specific counts listed: 1193 PlayStation titles, 1785 techniques, and 952 Saturn titles, 1478 techniques, contributing to a great increase in pages, totaling 1256. The publication date is announced as Friday, March 20th. Additionally, it notes that the book will be featured at the Tokyo Game Show, which runs from March 20th to 22nd. The next page is a striking vertical advertisement for the King of Fighters 97. It features bold artwork of key characters like Kyokusanagi, Iori Yagami, and Chizuru Kagura, highlighting the game's dramatic Revenge of Orochi storyline. This page details the SEGA Awards 97, where your vote determines the grand prize winner among computer entertainment software released in Japan during 1997. It's a direct call to action for fans to choose their favorite games. The campaign offers a chance to win various prizes just for voting, including cool gadgets like laptops, consoles such as the Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn, portable devices like the Game Boy Pocket, and even a RallyArt windbreaker. The main feature is the list of nominated titles, featuring 54 games across multiple platforms, from PS, SS, N64, GB, Mac, and Windows. It's a stacked list covering a wide range of genres, including major hits like Final Fantasy V2, Gran Turismo, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Dead or Alive, Star Fox 64, and iconic Japanese titles like Saga Frontier, Tales of Destiny, and the Atelier series. Voting is simple. You just pick your top 3 favorites and rank them. You could vote via a dedicated postcard, phone, or the internet homepage. The results and award ceremony were planned for April 3, 1998, at the Tokyo Game Show 98 Spring Afterparty, with 600 lucky voters invited to attend. It's a great way to feel like your opinion truly mattered in celebrating the year's best games. This page features a significant announcement regarding the discontinuation of certain titles, alongside exciting news from the world of Sakura Wars and Sega's new ventures. First, a notice from Sociedad Daikanyama announces the cessation of production for 2 Sega Saturn titles, the Baseball King Special and Haunted Casino, effective March 31, 1998. These were classified as X-rated software, and their discontinuation aligns with efforts towards the healthy development of the video game industry. However, fans can look forward to a new recommended title, King of Games, set to release on May 28. Box art for the discontinued games and a small mascot figure are shown, marking their end. Moving to the news wave, the page highlights the expanding universe of Sakura Wars, coinciding with the release of Sakura Wars 2. It covers related stage musicals, a CD single featuring themes from the game, and the third part of the Sakura Wars, the gorgeous Blooming Cherry Blossoms OVA series, which features intense combat scenes. Screenshots from the OVA and images related to the musical are included, showcasing beloved characters. Finally, the page introduces Sega Toys, a newly established company by Sega. Their first project is an anime adaptation of Akihabara Cyber Force, scheduled to begin airing soon. Character designs for the anime are also featured. It's clear Sega was branching out into various media forms during this period. This page is packed with diverse Sega Saturn news, highlighting upcoming events, game releases, and merchandise. An online Virtua Fighter 2 tournament connecting Tokyo Joyopolis and the Tokyo Game Show is announced, detailing the PCBASED competition. We also get a behind-the-scenes look at the intense filming for the commercials of Pro Yaku Greatest 998 and The House of the Dead, featuring actor Shiroto Sato training vigorously and zombie makeup effects. Excitingly, Konami is releasing two major titles, Suikoden and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, on the Saturn for a surprisingly low price of 3,800 yen each. In other game news, the 18-rated title Haunted Casino is confirmed for discontinuation at the end of March, alongside others previously mentioned. For hardware enthusiasts, a new PC connection peripheral is available, allowing the use of Saturn controllers on a PC. And mark your calendars. A limited edition skeleton Sega Saturn console is coming in April. Finally, the page covers a fan event for voice actresses involved in the Doki Doki Nightmare Bus Tour, and details a nationwide demo tour for the new Technomotor Yatar synthesizer software. There's even a mention of the Ultraman Tiga and Ultraman Dyna movie roadshow release. The Arc System Works fan club, Hyper, is also featured, offering benefits like priority event invitations and exclusive goods. This page shows the vibrant activities surrounding the Saturn, from competitive gaming and merchandise to diverse software releases and fan engagement. This page dives into upcoming releases beyond just games, featuring CD, video, and book content. We see soundtracks for arcade hits like Harley-Davidson and L.A. Riders and original music from Zuntata, plus video releases covering the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner anime, and an art book for Koi no Harmony. The main focus is the highly anticipated title report, giving us a peek at upcoming Sega Saturn games. We get status updates on big titles like Shining Force 2 I Scenario 2, with notes focusing on character perspectives, and Dragon Force 2, highlighting its theme song. Fighting game fans can anticipate Pocket Fighter, praised for its simple, exciting controls, while mech sim enthusiasts can look forward to Gun Griffon 2, which is planned for a demo at upcoming events. Other notable titles include Graduation 2, Y, Wedding Bell, which had a demo at TGS and featured a voice actor event, and the conclusion to the robot strategy saga, Super Robot Wars F Complete. It's cool to see development percentages and direct comments on the progress and feel of these anticipated games, offering a direct line to the developers' thoughts. There's also a giveaway section offering various items like a telecard, software, and a watch, with details on how fans can apply via postcard. This page focuses on exciting games coming soon, highlighting two very different experiences. First up is Tempo, the vibrant rhythmic action game for 32X, now powering up for the Saturn. Its unique characters and world are a real draw, with gameplay centered around tempo and collecting musical notes. We get a peek at stages like Frog Forest and Boar Village, showcasing the game's blend of platforming, combat, and rhythm-based challenges. Next is Wordsworth, an anticipated 3D dungeon RPG. While details are still somewhat scarce, it's notable for featuring character designs by the artist known for Classmates 2. The development is currently reported at 30% complete, aiming for a fall release. The developers mention wanting to surprise users with a new system and promise detailed character and CG work, targeting the needs of many users. It sounds like they are putting a lot of care into this new direction for the series. This page previews exciting new releases covering action and RPG genres, with promising visuals and unique concepts on the horizon. This page previews several upcoming Saturn games. Princess Maker 2 is a simulation where players raise a daughter from age 10 to 18
influencing her life through choices. Game de Seishun is a 4-player board game life simulation, tracking a year of life per turn. Savaki is a 3D polygon fighting game emphasizing realistic martial arts combat with 7 styles. Elf Hunting 2, based on an anime, is an adventure game with branching storylines and movie-style depictions of key events. Other upcoming Saturn releases, including ports and collections, are also noted. This page gives us the lowdown on the Tokyo Game Show 98 Spring event, which ran from March 21st to 22nd at Makuhari Messe. It was packed with stage events, including radio recordings and live performances featuring prominent voice actors like Norio Wakamoto and Chisa Yokoyama. There were also special creator conferences discussing the challenges of development, touching on series like Shin Megami Tensei, Sakura Wars, and Grandia. The show focused heavily on upcoming software. Sega, as expected, showcased major titles like Sakura Wars 2 and Dragon Force 2. Other notable games highlighted from various publishers included Gungriffon 2, Riven, the sequel to Myst, Vampire Savior, and Super Robot Wars F Complete. Many exhibitors offered playable demos, stage talks, and merchandise sales. There was even a section dedicated to PAC gaming, hinting at the future of the industry, and visitors could vote for the SEGA Awards for the best games of the past year. For those who couldn't attend, an online report covered the key events. Images show the lively atmosphere, including stage shows, creator panels, and booths like Sega's featuring Sakura Wars 2. It looks like it was a must-attend event for any gamer back then. This page presents the Sega Saturn new title lineup, essentially a release calendar detailing upcoming games. It covers releases from March onwards, stretching into late 1998 and even into 1999, alongside a section for titles with undecided release dates. The calendar is organized chronologically by month and then by day, listing each game's title, publisher or developer, and price. There's a key explaining that titles in red text are completely new listings in this calendar, while those in blue text indicate a title change. Looking through the list, we see a mix of genres expected for the Saturn era, including fighting games like The King of Fighters 97 and Vampire Savior, strategy titles like Command & Conquer, RPGs such as Grandia Digital Museum, and arcade ports. Several notable titles are listed, reflecting the strong support for the console at the time, some of which were likely highlighted at the recent Tokyo Game Show discussed on the previous page. The page is purely informational, acting as a quick reference guide for gamers to track upcoming releases. It lacks any visual flair like screenshots or character art, focusing solely on presenting the data clearly. This page features a lively announcement of upcoming releases, highlighted by a large illustration for the adventure game Himitsu Sentai Metamor Versus. The main section declares March 27th as a major release day, building anticipation with features on Sakura Wars 2 and Evangelion. It teases strong content like a collaborative poster for Evangelion Girlfriend of Steel, and promises quick updates on new Tokyo Game Show titles. The prominent artwork showcases the colorful cast of Himitsu Sentai Metamor V, depicting 5 young girls transforming into heroes to protect the Earth, alongside a screenshot showing game dialogue and character portraits. It's described as a Sega Saturn adventure game, set for release on April 23rd, at a price of 5,800 yen. A game index provides a quick reference for Sega Saturn titles reviewed or featured in this issue, listing names like Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG, Even the Lost One, Grandia Digital Museum, and Sakura Wars 2, along with their page numbers. There's also an index for advertisers. Information on contacting the magazine and details about how game specs are presented are included in smaller sections. The bottom teases a large feature on Sakura Wars 2 in the next issue, inviting fan illustrations. This page is an impressive advertisement for the strategy simulation game Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition for Sega Saturn, featuring striking artwork of Char Aznable and the Xeon symbol. It announces the game's release on April 9th, with a provisional price of 6,800 yen, highlighting a limited edition with unique cover art by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko.